Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. You're with Joanne the Lunar Lawyer. Well, I was out yesterday and so I didn't get a chance to film, but the judge, Whitney, gave his, handed down the first decision in the Crikey Murdoch case, and Crikey has struck the first blow. So we're going to see what the Guardian reported. I saw in and out because I was actually working, so, when you're teaching music to children, you can't be watching as much as I wanted to watch it. I had to do my teaching, but this is Lachlan's Murdoch's legal team Lisa's bid to have parts of Crikey's defamation defence dismissed. Now you've got to remember that some of these rules are untested because the defamation laws have only changed in July, came into effect, I think, July 2021. So some of this case is actually going to be going to test these new laws. So anyway, Lachlan Murdoch's application to have parts of Crikey's defence about Fox News' role in the January 6th riot dismissed has failed in a pre-trial hearing in the federal court. In August, the co-chair of News Corp filed proceedings for defamation against the Australian independent news sites over an article by its political editor, Bernard Keane, headlined, "Trump is a confirmed unhinged traitor, and Murdoch is an unindicted co-conspirator." Keane argued the Fox former US President Richard Nixon was infamously the unindicted co-conspirator in the Watergate scandal, and drew an analogy that the Murdochs and their slew of poisonous Fox News commentators were the unindicted co-conspirators in the events of January 6. Murdoch's barrister, Sue Chrysanthou SC, had sought to have Crikey's inclusion of its defence of background facts about Fox News' coverage of the election struck out on the grounds they are irrelevant, embarrassing, and will waste time at the trial. Justice Michael Whitney said he was not satisfied the paragraphs are sufficiently evasive or ambiguous to warrant being struck out before the trial. Legal issues raised by the defences are more appropriately determined when factual issues relevant to them have been crystallised at trial, Whitney said in a lengthy verbal judgment on Friday. And just on a side note, his verbal judgment, I think, went for nearly an hour and a half, so nearly 2 hours. So it's going to be a very long judgment. What you will see is that he has actually really put some thought into it. Whitney said that some of the facts presented by Crikey in his defence, such as Donald Trump lost the 2020 presidential election, were uncontrovertible. Others might be considered by some to be somewhat more controversial or contentious. For example, quote, hosts and guests on Fox News repeatedly to cast doubt on the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, close quote. But he said Crikey should be allowed to plead them, and they will be discussed in detail at trial, which is set down for 9 days from March 27. Whitney said Chrysanthou's assertion that it was obvious that the topic of Keane's article was in public interest appeared to be entirely at odds with her for formal submission, which states in unqualified terms that Mr. Murdoch denies that Crikey's article concerned an issue of public interest. So there was some verbal. So he's pointed out that Murdoch's barrister contradicted herself in the verbal and the written. So assertion. So in one moment they're saying it was in the public interest, and then in her formal submission she said no, it wasn't in the public interest. So of course it's public interest, which is part of their defence. Crikey's application to have parts of Murdoch's reply struck out also failed, with the judge saying if Murdoch was able to prove the predominant purpose of the article was harm, this would defeat the defence of public interest. Mr. Murdoch's interlocutory application, dated September 22, 2022, is to be dismissed. So too is Crikey's interlocutory application dated the 5th of October 2022. Crikey wanted Murdoch's claim that the publisher had acted in malice struck out. The suggestion appears to be that Crikey could not have reasonably believed that the publication of the article was in the public interest because it was actuated by malice, Whitney said. it is at least reasonably arguable that Mr. Murdoch may effectively defeat Crikey's claim that it reasonably believed that the article was in the public interest by proving that Crikey published the article for the predominant purpose of harming Mr. Murdoch. Chrysanthi had argued that it was not necessary for the court to watch an incalculable number of hours of Fox News coverage to establish whether Crikey could successfully use the public interest defence. She argued that a new defence, which has not been tested in the case yet, was not applicable to Crikey. The new dawn promised to the media by reason of this defence is not going to happen. Whitney said Crikey's defence was not entirely lucid and suffers from a degree of ambiguity, and its clarity could no doubt be improved. Nevertheless, I am not persuaded that the deficiencies in the pleadings is such that paragraphs 1 to 16 of 42 could be said to be evasive or ambiguous. Murdoch began proceedings after the website republished an article on the 15th of August after initially taking it offline when Crikey editor-in-chief Peter Fray received a concerns notice on June 30. Now, what he has also ordered is that Crikey replead. So he's actually asked Crikey to refile a defence so that to fix up. So he said, so he's given a date for the defence to be filed. And that is really where we're at. So, I mean, I guess you can say it's a bit of a draw. They both had their applications removed. However, I think it would seem that Murdoch has lost the biggest stake in this because there was more that Murdoch wanted removed than what Crikey wanted removed. So that's where we are. So this is going to be interesting. As I said, this new public interest defence is now going to be tested. It hasn't been tested yet. And so we're going to see, I guess we'll be seeing exactly how this all plays out. So watch this space. Thank you for joining me. Yes, so it's a wet day here in Melbourne. Hopefully, well, there's already flood warnings around the state. There's people who are being evacuated again. It's more rain. I'm due to go to work. I'm at the Cox Plate today. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know how that all works. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Please hit like and subscribe and I'll update you. I will be doing some filming. I've got a video to put up that I've pre-recorded. And I'm going to probably Sunday will be when I am home again to be able to do something, which is tomorrow. I don't know what day it is, to be honest. Thank you for joining me and I'll catch you again next time. And as I said, hit like and subscribe. And thank you for all your support and everything. Bye for now.